bowl of soup and my brother is hungry, he has half a bowl. He doesn't have to ask. That collective wisdom began in this dispensation of time 50 years ago. Now is the reason. We were blessed with the vision of Ben Ami, Nasik Prince Asiel. That's beautiful. We are blessed, still have physical energy and everything from Prince Asiel and Queen Mother. What you gonna do? Their focus is on legacy. Not, okay, I built this building, I painted that wall. What you gonna do with it? Did you upgrade? Okay, you upgrade your computer, all right, to do what? Play solitaire? You want to upgrade your computer to increase your business output. Eh? So if you don't have your business mind on, what you thinking? What's on your mind? So in order to get our mind right, we have to first think in terms of self. I know it sounds crazy, but I can't help you if I'm not helping myself. If I'm homeless, out of doors, and hungry, I'm very limited in what I can do to help you. See? So, with that foreknowledge, it is my distinct honor and my privilege to bring forth who I feel is one of the brightest shining lights in this new world peace. My dear friend and brother, Nasik Yosef and Asiel.
First and foremost, giving all honor and praise to the Creator of the heavens and the earth. We thank that great God for our ancestors, whatever form or fashion they may be found. We thank Him for our founding father, Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. We thank Him for Moses, or Moshe, and the Torah. We thank Him for Yeshua, or Jesus, for the new gospel. And we thank Him for Prophet Muhammad ibn Abdullah, for the Holy Quran. But surely, if I am bold enough, if I have the audacity enough to thank those great men I know only from Scripture, only from studying, surely I must be humble enough to thank the men and women He sent in this dispensation of time. So I'm truly grateful for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and his great students that he raised for, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I thank our spiritual leader, the anointed and appointed for the vision of 1966. I speak of Rabbi Ben Ami. And our master teacher, Nasik Yosef, who taught us through his writings the history of the prophecy of the children of Israel. And if those two had a spiritual son, it would be the one who was responsible for bringing us all into Israel, for giving us the manifestation of those two men's vision in this day and time. I speak none other than my personal spiritual father, leader, teacher, and example of the man I wish one day to be, Prince Asiel in Israel. I greet you, my wonderful listening audience, and those who are watching on film. In the words of peace, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
It's always an honor and a pleasure to mount this rostrum and to be before you. I would be remiss in my duties if, as an example and one who is in leadership, do not give credit for those who made this a possibility. So again, I want to thank Queen Mother Helen Sinclair for it's been 95 years on this planet doing the work we've done. Queen Mother? 98. I'm 3 years behind. Just give her a round of applause. I was trying to take Queen Mother. You know, 45. I want to thank my personal father, like I said, who for me has been the example of not just a man on this physical plane, but a man who has manifested God. He said, when we look in the mirror, we see God. But for a long time, when I looked in the mirror, I didn't see God. I seen a black man, I seen a Negro, I seen a colored person. But until my father gave me an example of what a God is, what a God looks like, what a God dressed, how does he talk to himself, and how does he deal with others, then I knew that I was a God. So I thank him for that. I thank my teacher, Prince Amiel, Dr. Prince Amiel, for always being so profound in his articulation of what is to be done. You have been an example and a brother to my father and an uncle to me, and I am always, always indebted to you, sir. Prince, we call him the Prince of Discernment from the East Coast. Please be patient with me, but I have to do this. This is my responsibility. I want Prince Elram to know that I thank God for allowing you to say safely, because you were just here maybe a week ago, and maybe a week ago before that, but because this man understands the importance of the times, because he's so dedicated to this work, he travels every week, it seems, back and forth from D.C. so that he can be with us and we can make sure this work becomes a reality. I thank our Minister of Defense, Sar Mikael, who is such a great mentor to me, who's been with me and teaching me for 10 years, not just to train my body, but to train my mind and my soul, to have discernment, to have the ability to understand and to have spiritual awareness at the highest level. That's something that cannot be overlooked, because if we're going to be men of the new era, of the new age, those are requirements that we must have. Not whether you talk or get a little money or be flashy, but how are you able to discern truth from falsehood? And that's what that brother has given me. Kohen Maliki, who brings in the prophetic and spiritual discernment at the highest level. And I want to thank him, his son Emmanuel, and the other brothers who were here last night, who made this room look totally different than it was a week ago. Anybody who's been in this room, I need somebody to turn their phone off. My security, I feel bad. Come on, brother, I'm about to give you an accolade next. I got to take it back now. You're on post. I want to give them a special thank you, because they made this a reality. And when we had the vision to take this building and make it our own, everybody looked at us like we were crazy. It was a dump, so to speak, because it was been neglected. But it had so much potential. And my father said, when I brought the idea to him, he said, I was just waiting on you to be proactive. And so once he gave me that once he gave me that approval, I knew we had to get to work. And I thank those brothers who put their time and hours into that, headed by our brother, our Prince Kohen Maliki. I'm just so honored, because I spoke of my father, but you're not just made from man alone. You have feminine aspects. And my two beautiful sisters who are here today, Yasmin and Sadia, who represent my mother, who gave me the foundation of how to be a good person. She taught me love. She taught me discipline and dedication. And she taught me, most and foremost, to love and respect my father. So though he wasn't always there physically in my life, because he was building a better world, he was always kept alive through the words of my mother. And that's something I will be eternally grateful for. So I thank my beautiful sisters for attending this. And as Prince Amiel said, I need to see those smiles. So I definitely need, if I'm giving you these accolades, let me see those beautiful teeth. Don't be looking like them. Give a round of applause for my sisters, please. And like I said, my security, not my security, but the ones who protect and watch us, because we know God is the true protector of us. So for those brothers who choose to be with us, to make sure my father and us and the princes are in good shape, and that they are always diligent on what is happening. Not to just think of being determined, because we don't expect nobody to do anything, but we always want to keep a controlled environment, that we stay aware. Because once you start speaking truth, once you start going against the adversary, those spirits will come. And that we have to be precautious. We have to always be on point, and we always have to take our time and be diligent on our protection, because our lives are so important. compared to what the world tries to present to us, that we're not having any value, that we're not worth anything. That's frankly contrary. Why would the whole world attack you if you're not worth anything? They'll leave you alone. But it's been a concerted effort to make sure that you, one, do not have identity yourself, and if you do get identity yourself, they try to take your physical life as soon as possible. So we thank those brothers for having that understanding and taking on that responsibility, because sometimes it's hard to see somebody else be so-called in the spotlight, or be the speaker, or be the one in front, and you just sit idly by. But your job is the most important. This is the easy part, doing the talking, but the groundwork to make sure that this becomes a reality is the most important. And I thank God that you are here, that gives me the ability to do this. Now I can, with a free conscience, go home and study and research and do my due diligence, knowing that my brothers and my sisters have my back. Now, with that being said, I think we went through all the preliminary things. My brother Yosef, who has been with me for a number of years, who will be my reader, but not just my reader, my right-hand man, and I thank him for being up here as well. But today is Passover. And we say, well, we've been celebrating Passover for 3,500 years. What makes this different? Because we say it's different. I think we have the power to define it, not mistaken, right? Right. So once we say something is different, once we say we're going to do things and approach things different, then that's what it is. We can't continuously allow other people to define our reality. We can't continue to allow other people to tell us what we should be doing, how we should be doing it, when we should be doing it. That time is up. Because you can't, in actuality, with a free conscience, say, I'm a free person, and none of your thoughts produce freedom. So, of course, this is different. Of course, this is not unlike any Passover ever before, and that's why we have representatives, my brother, Sensei Rick, who is representing the Nation of Islam, who's such a beautiful brother, but it shows the collectiveness of God's people. See, I'm a byproduct of both. I'm a Muslim follower of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's why I give him his parole. That's why I give him his honor. My father is a follower and a student of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. There is no distinction in the truth of God. But the adversary wants that to be a reality. They want us to think we're different. They want us to think that we're the problem and we should be attacking each other instead of collectively identifying who is our real deterrent in this world to being free. Yeah, it's us. But don't think we don't have an external force to try to promote that and keep that reality going. Both have to be identified. But with that being said, we're saying that in a celebratory manner. Because this is a celebration. This is the Jubilee year. This is the line of demarcation where we have identified our first 50 years of physically as a people being in the land of Israel. That's right. But more so just being in the land of Israel, taking and having the audacity, I said that word earlier, that's a powerful word, to have the ability against all odds, all circumstances, all situations, step out of what is the normal, based on what we've been contextualized to think is normal, and do something different. Until 1967, 66, 69, 66 was the vision, 67 when we left and went to Liberia, 68 when Nasik Yosef and Ben Ami, our spiritual leader, landed in Israel, but 69 when we landed as a people in Israel. Israel was not identified to black people. We thought about it was just a place in the Bible. We could even point to it on a map. It didn't exist in our consciousness. Right. So somebody had to have the audacity to say, oh, that's our place. That's our land. Right. That's our heritage. That's our history. Now, don't get me mistaken. The whole world belongs to the original man and woman. That's right. But we have to, in our minds, define what is the start point that we're going to say we're going to start to reclaim this planet again. And we chose as a people because we have the power to define Israel. For a number of reasons. In the book, when we go through it, whether it be Quran or Torah or even the New Gospel, you see yourself all through it. So we continue to read this book and say, hey, they're not talking about no Caucasian Europeans. They're not talking about what we've been conditioned to think Middle Easterns are today. But they're talking about you and I. That description, when you read Deuteronomy, you read Genesis, when it talks about the curses, when it talks about you be taken out here in ships, who does that identify? It identifies us. So that's why I said the audacity to go and create a world of our own. Of course there were going to be opposition. Of course there were going to be
impediments. Of course, there were going to be people trying to stop every move or progression that we made. But we learned in our growth and our development that the only true opposition, the only true impediment was ourselves. We had to make a decision whether we were going to do, like the prince said earlier, what it takes to be free. Hear me out now. I want to go through this with some type of speed, but I want to take my time because I want to hit key points. This is understanding and assessing 50 years of being in Israel, the Jubilee year. Understanding the evolutionary process of being in the kingdom of God. Evolution, that means you would grow. Just because we said in our inception that we were in the kingdom of God, that wasn't the exact model that we were going to replicate for the rest of our lives. Mistakes were made. But how wouldn't it be? We came out of a contextualization that we were being called niggers and Negroes and slaves and colors, that we were forced to sleep with our parents and our parents were forced to sleep with us in the forms of making the perfect breed of slaves. Am I correct? So how would you make the proper decisions? How would you go into a heaven, still hold on to a hellish mind? It's impossible. But God gives you things in measures. You had to go through that process to get to this point. I'm getting a little energy. You can tell some of you may know, maybe 12 hours ago, I couldn't even stand. I had a mild case of food poisoning, throwing up and all that stuff. I won't bore you with the details, but I had to make the decision that I would have the audacity to say, hey, I'm going to make this message no matter what. It's not going to stop me. I have to make this choice. So I knew that if Ho Chi Minh, if you're familiar with the Vietnamese War, was a sickly person who fought the French and American government and led his armies to beat them, throwing up half the time, what can I do with the God of Israel on my side? If I knew the Haitians overthrew 3 of the top governments of that time, and they were dealing with disease and all a number of other things without no real weaponry, what can I do? Hell, Michael Jordan scored 60 points with the flu. I can't teach the word of God with the book. Bomb it? It don't make no sense to me. This is my only option. I'm a little passionate. Be patient with me, though, because this means so much to me that I get to be in front of you and bear witness to the greatness of my mother and my father and my mothers and my fathers that allowed this day to be a reality. We talked about Adam Kazman. Looking at Adam Kazman. How would the new man look? He would look like Yosef. He would talk like Yosef, not the individual, but one who was diligent to those who taught him. One who adhered all the lessons and learned from the mistakes and implemented in his life or her life so he can make the evolutionary change. I am representative of all of us, all of your efforts, all of your time to bring this into reality so that we can continue this great work. So, we're talking about the renewal of the vision. That means there has to be a new vision. Rich, you saying what? New. Hold on. Really loud. I want people to really understand that. What was it? New. And what else? And new. So that means we have to have a new vision. Not that the first vision was wrong, but it was fulfilled. The vision that Ben Ami received in 1966, may God be pleased with his soul, was to return to the Holy Land. Yes. Right. Did we do that? Yes. Mission complete. That's it. But was that the end of it? No. Couldn't be. Things have to continue to evolve, develop, be implemented. That means we have to have an understanding in this next dispensation of time of 50 years, what is to be done. So now that we're physically in the land, now we mentally, spiritually, intellectually must understand how do we operate in that land. And the land is representative of this whole planet because we need people, peacemakers in every part of this globe. So some of them are going to have to stay in America. Some are going to have to be in what they identify as Asia. Some are going to have to be what they identify as the continent of Africa. Some are going to have to be in Europe, South America. We're going to have to be all in this whole planet. But we must have a stronghold somewhere on this planet that if ever there's a problem, you know you can come home. And that's what we were trying to establish in the land of Israel. Am I correct? That's correct. Not to be Jews the way Europeans practice it, but hell, not to be Jews the way most blacks practice it. There's people out there right now who still slaughtering lambs. I mean, real life animals to identify their connection to God. Now, does that make sense? Hell, if you want to see somebody slide, just go on 47th Street. Go on 79th. You ain't got to get no harmless animal. Just go over there to Motown and throw a TD.
Right.
Go to East Side and say, you folks.
Right.
Simple. They're going to slaughter right there. See, we've been so spooky with this that it becomes so unpractical. And now you see why people don't believe in God. Why you see they throw the Bible down and say it has no relevance. Why you see we run into these institutions to try to have some credibility, some acceptability, because the things that we're supposed to say has been taught in such a manner that it has no benefit. A renewal of a vision. You must understand the importance. Because we talk about free thoughts. You got to understand the importance of having a free mind again. But like I said, you cannot have a free mind when your every single thought was constructed by a slave mentality. Hold on, they heard me. You get a little trouble. Okay, one more time. I said you cannot have a free thought. I know you said I'm a free person. I think my own mind. I make my own decisions. That's impossible. The decisions that you make have been constructed and conditioned by your reality, by your upbringing, and by your examples. So now you have to identify what are your examples? What has been in your upbringing? What has been conditioning you to this point? That's your thoughts. Because your mind is nothing but a computer. A very elaborate one, but a computer nonetheless. So it gets programmed. We talked about software today. I'm going to try to bring it all together the best way I can. I was so happy because I'm listening. I said, damn, did these guys read my notes? I know we're supposed to give them profanity. Was it okay word? Okay, let's make sure. I want to be up here. But I'm saying, but that shows you how perfect the Spirit is. And we didn't go through this. Yeah, they seen the title. I didn't go through my notes. I'm very secretive about what I like to teach because I don't want nobody copying what I said. But seriously, it just shows you when you've been taught and trained well, that we all have one mind. Deuteronomy 6:4 says, Hear, O Israel, our Lord, our God is one. Well, he said something real quick when Prince Asiel did, when he talked about God and identified with that metaphysical God. Well, the Europeans identify in their biblical dictionary, God as mind. Hold on, that takes a whole other paradigm. When you take it out of mythicism of it being something spookism that we taught against, that the Nation of Islam teaches against, that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches against, and make it practical, say, man, who has had our mind? What mind have we used to enact and produce our world? It hasn't been the one that was given to us originally because we haven't done nothing that has been beneficial for us as a people. Now you say, hey, I got cars, I got money, that seems beneficial. But what has it produced? Has it stopped the onslaught of this world from destroying and killing you? Has it prolonged your life in any efficient way? And if you do live, what's the quality of your life? Because I'm under the impression that life is to be lived and lived abundantly. So if you had a struggle every single day of your life, that's not living. If you have to argue with your spouse, you got to fight with your children, if you got to dread every time you go to work, that's not living. If you have to compromise your morals and your integrities to make $1, that's not living. We have to have a reality check here. We have to have a new vision. Second book of Theologians, 11th and 12th verse. I know I don't want to bring sport to a scripture, but I have to go through it because when you make the scripture come alive, it has a whole other meaning. When you see yourself in it and you make it practical, it has a whole other meaning. Don't get so caught up that everything's literal, but the allegory in it. What does it represent? What's the spirit of what they're trying to give me? Because I'm going to tell you one thing. We get so stuck in trying to emulate, especially as Hebrews, and some Muslims and Christians, we want to relive the past. Hell, I don't want to relive yesterday. So I damn sure don't want to relive 3,500 years ago, especially without the proper context. I just told you I was throwing up on one. I don't want to do that again. So what would make us in our right mind try to do that and make it make sense. This is my point.
And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth.
No. Read one line before they can go to that, because I want us to really understand why we practice idolatry and think we're doing it in a way that we're being beneficial to ourselves and serving our God. We're not serving nobody's God. We're serving our ignorance and we're serving our own arrogance. You can't tell me in good conscience that you sacrificing a lamb in 2019 makes sense and that is benefiting your God. You just want to kill something and be telling you're righteous by doing it. Now you see why we killing each other? Why we killing ourselves? Go ahead.
Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan.
Oh, say that one more time.
Even him whose coming.
Even him who's coming. You! Even you that is coming each and every day in whatever environment you are as using the mind of Satan. That means the mind of death, the mind of evil, the mind of anti-life. Let's make it plain now.
All power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of truth,
The love of truth.
that they might be saved.
Truth, what produces life? What are you eating? What are you listening to? What are you thinking? That is what righteousness is. It's not, like we said, saying sleeping on the Shabbat, or us having Passover in a somber mode where we got the candles lit and we can just all drink food and everything. That's not righteousness. Wearing all white just to be wearing all white and your heart is as dark as can be. That's not righteousness. I want you to hear me now. Because if you don't know what is not acceptable, you don't know what to do when you get to the new world. It's going to emulate the same old thing again. And it won't be new. Go ahead. That's it. One more? Two. Go ahead.
And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion.
Oh, you going to send them what?
Strong delusion.
Strong delusion.
That they should believe
So
a lie.
you believe a lie. You will eat chitlins thinking it's food. You would eat chitlins thinking it's food. Not when you had to because that was your only course of redress because you were facing starvation. No, you today are eating pickled pig feet. You today are eating chitlins. You today. Strong delusions. Strong delusions. They convince you that if you were born a female, that you can be a male. Oh, you're going too far. You're not going to talk about that. But I'm telling you about what delusions. I'm talking about delusions, though. Because if you are confused about your sexual orientation, every decision after that will be out of confusion. It won't make sense.
Wait.
My brother Dwayne, wait, not to get off subject, but I want to show you how strong delusion is. He has his son, his 11-year-old son, sashaying around on stage as if he's a female model. Now, let's not even get into the homosexual part. Let's think about an 11-year-old child being sexualized at that time. We lost our man. How could be if it was his daughter? Why would you put that sexualization on a child that early? What kind of world are you giving them? What type of mind are you giving them? What type of future are you giving them? But then, himself 2 days later, he gets a tattoo on his thigh. Hold on, how you? The grown man got a tattoo on his thigh. His inner thigh. The next one gonna be on his butt cheeks. But I'm saying, you say, okay, I'm using levity, but I want you to understand that doesn't make any sense. What purpose does that serve in your life? We do things without no rationalization. It has no benefit. We do not understand the laws of cause and effect. We just do things. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
When you just do things, you start to accept death as the norm. Oh, you accept death as the norm. And not only do you accept it, you anticipate and prepare to die. Then you start are to look forward to death. Meaning every decision that you make is centered around death in all aspects of your so-called life. Oh. Every decision that I make is centered around death? What mind do you have? So I'm asking us, let's look at our life and be honest. How much death do we practice? How much do we love perpetuating? And what's the saying we always say? I'm living my what? My best life.
Preparing for death.
Dang. You lost your mind. You lost your God. I want my brother, because death, it seems so constructed as such that it's just one idea. Like somebody said it was 36 different ways to die, right? Or 36 different ways of death. I'm going to go through a couple of them because I want us to understand that being in the physical realm is not the only way you die. That's your best option. That was a heavy poem, Chris. I was like, hey, that's my best option? Go ahead, brother. Start the first one.
To pass from physical life.
Okay, we got that part.
To pass out of existence.
Pass out of existence.
To
Okay.
disappear, subside.
To disappear,
gradually.
to society.
Often used with away, down, or out.
Oh, that's a whole other paradigm now. Who's the most downward people? Who's been away from anything that has been productive? Anything that is advantageous in promoting life? That's us. We're walking around literally dead people. What did the Most High Muhammad say, bro? We deaf, dumb, and blind. You can't hear, you can't see, and you damn sure can't move. You running in circles. You like, if anybody seen the movie Us, you like those tethers walking in the walls, emulating somebody else's life, trying to make it your own, you trying to tell us so you can do the same thing Caucasians do. You can smoke cigarettes and drink hard liquor all day, your liver won't be bad. Your body wasn't made for that.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna give you God tonight.
Go ahead.
The living God. I'm gonna be quick though, but I'm gonna give it to you. Go ahead, brother.
To be overwhelmed by emotion.
Oh, who's the most emotional people on this planet? Think about our men. What do they do when they get mad? They fight, they cuss, they whine. They attack our women, they attack our children. But what do our women do? They attack the men, they attack the children. This deal out of emotion. Ain't nobody being logical. Ain't nobody say, hey, let's come to a consensus of truth. What makes sense in this time? How can we converse and come to agreement that is beneficial for both parties? Oh, no. So you say that to a Negro, they'll take you to hell. But you did, though. The next step is physical death. Go ahead. We're just going to go through a couple of them. But I want to see, just think about it as you hear these things, how many apply to you while you're living your best life?
To cease
What
functioning.
an oxymoron. To what?
To cease functioning.
To cease function. You're not a functional human being anymore. You're not functional. What aspect that we participated in this government that has been functional for us? We became doctors, lawyers, politicians. The president has it stopped the killing of unarmed black men and women?
Not one.
That has not served any functional purpose in our lives. You did. You practice now. Bill Cosby said, I'm almost a billionaire. What function did they serve him? Did he keep him out of jail? He said, Bill, you're raping the white woman. Who gave him the white woman? White men! Who happened to something? Come on, they free range for you, brother. Until it wasn't no more. Let's make sense of this now. See, you've been in this stage of illusion of inclusion. Inclusion. Have the illusion of inclusion. You think the closer you get into this society, the better off you be, but the closer you get into society, the worse off you are. That's why you said earlier about these letters that we've been getting, this education that we're getting. Yes, you must have education. Do I sound like I'm uneducated? Do we sound like we're uneducated? But you have to have the proper education. That means your education must be dedicated to a greater purpose than your own individual self. What am I getting this knowledge for? How would it benefit myself, my family, my people, my nation? Am I learning to be an engineer to build somebody else's world? Or am I learning to build my own world? Have I become a teacher so that I can raise the young minds up to be great? Or am I being a teacher so I can continue to give them the same slave rhetoric that they've been having that's going to lead them straight to the grave? That's what we have to ask ourselves. Keep going.
To end in failure.
To end in failure.
To become
So to be a failure is to die. They're synonymous with each other. So whenever you're not successful, you're dead. So every decision you make, you gotta be very circumspect about it, because it will bring your death into existence. And how do you ensure your success? That means you prepare for it. You can't go into any situation without being properly prepared. Not just practice, but perfect practice makes perfection. Because you can practice the wrong thing, and it won't bring out or yield any true benefit. See, we've been stuck on the symptoms but never found out the root of the problem. The root of the problem is you haven't had your mind, you haven't had your God, you haven't passed over to nothing. So you don't have any celebrations. You haven't done so. You've been emulating and replicating devils and the devil's world. So at this, we get a new vision, a new relationship with each other, a new relationship with the teachers, a new relationship with the children, a new relationship with ourselves. That's what the new and the renewal vision is. That's what new is. You can't have a new environment if you don't make a new self first. Your environment is just a byproduct of your mind and the mind of the men and women who inhabit that environment. So how do you expect your circumstances to change when you refuse to change anything in your life? You want to lose weight, but you don't want to eat healthy or exercise. Don't make sense. You want to gain weight, but you don't want to do and feed yourself the necessary food that you need. Don't make sense. You want to pass the test, you want to graduate from school, but you're not doing no studying. It don't make sense. We got to look at this different. Because if we don't do it, who do we expect to do it? We've been waiting around for 400 years, if you want to count our time here, 400 plus years. We've been looking at 2,000 years since we've been exiled out the land. Hasn't been nobody. 6,000 years under the rule of our adversary and enemy. Nobody. So if it's not us, then who? There will be no external force that comes save you, if not you. What, you think you're supposed to save me? No, I am you. Prince Asiel is you. You are me. We are reflections of each other. That's why he said earlier, that's why you're in this room. Because it was something that you needed to hear from someone tonight to complete the picture in your life. For that particular purpose. That's where we at right now. So, go ahead, brother. What you want? I'll close it out.
To become indifferent.
Come indifferent. You don't care about nothing. I don't care. I don't care. Amen. You know, that's probably, I don't care. You got to die from something. Somebody said it, they already did. Walk away from it as fast as you can. Run from it. Somebody tell you that you got to die from something. No, he looking the soonest way he can kill you. See, we've been here for a while. I'm going to wrap up. And there's so much that we have to do. But I want to talk about one more thing, because we have to create a culture that is representative of our minds. If we do anything tonight, we have to create a culture for us. Culture isn't just what you wear, how you dress, or none of those things. It's much more than that. See, we were under the false idea and conception that you didn't practice your culture if you didn't have cords of blue and fringes on. You didn't practice your culture if you didn't do no salt days. Well, if you need salt to live, so you better have an understanding of salt. Well, you can't have no sugar. Well, you need fruit. Fruit has sugar. See, we understand why we implement these things, but if you don't evolve your thinking, you get stuck right there. And you make that your reality, and then your culture, which is supposed to protect, save, and evolve you, becomes your greatest detriment. So the thing that was used to raise you up has been the thing to destroy you, because you have not grown. You can't use baby concepts at 16, at 20. You can't walk around at 35 with a pacifier in your mouth, with a diaper on, and hoping somebody give you some type of understanding. I'm a baby, don't do nothing to me. I didn't know what I was doing. They gon', if you, like I said, definitely the best option, what they gonna do to you. So I'm saying we have to grow, we have to evolve. So culture, what is culture? He said it's not according to blueprints. Though that's an aspect, yes. Those things are external expressions of what our conscience and psyche is. But we have to get to a point where whatever your clothing, your garments, or whatever your culture may be externally, if you don't have it internally, it has no purpose. Because anybody can wear anything. When my father got deported out of Israel, he came back as a preacher, he came back as a rabbi, he came back as a Catholic priest. He was wearing everybody's clothes. But that wasn't him. That means anybody can put on anything. He always uses the example, you can call yourself anything. Hey, I'm a jet pilot, but yet you still got to do take off and land safely to be considered a jet pilot. Am I correct? So our identifying marker has to be our hearts. When we walk in the room, that's a follower of the Most Honorable Elijah. That is a period of people of the true scripture of Israel, true children of Israel. They need to know you are Hebrew by your heart, by your actions, by your words, by your deeds, not by your clothes, not by your speech. Yes, Hebrew is a holy tongue, but they have profanity in Hebrew. That means you can say vile words in Hebrew as well. So what's the spirit of what you're talking about? I say that word in English, but it came from a meaning of God, a spirit of God. That has to be our culture. Go ahead and read culture, brother.
Culture. The set of shared attitudes, values, goals, and practices.
Oh, whoa. They didn't say nothing about clothes before the little fringes, did it? It said, what? No, start from the beginning. Go on to the mic. Hold on. Let me everybody hear my brother. I'm his over now.
The set of shared attitudes,
The
values.
set of shared attitudes. What is your disposition? How are you thinking? What is your mannerisms? How do you treat one another? Everybody get up. I had to give them about why? Because that's me. Because you're me. That's my attitude towards you. Why? Because what?
Practices that characterize an institution.
An institution. Not no physical building. No, this ain't nothing. You're the institution. You're the embodiment of the goals and the aspirations of the principles that we tend to live by. You are the houses of the higher education that must be dispersed upon this planet to rise up the gods on this earth. That's our culture. That when they see you, they see what? They see God. That's your culture. I would see God if he didn't have his national on and his bow tie on. I would see God if the sister didn't have her hair wrap, because her countenance eludes and emanates the Spirit of God because their disposition is such. Go ahead, sir. That was it on the definition?
No.
Keep on.
The integrated pattern of human knowledge.
The integrated, the coming together. We talked about being a collective people again. An inclusive people again. That means that we will share the knowledge that we attain to make a better world for ourselves, for our progeny, our children, our descendants. If you got something I need, I'll come to you no matter what. If I know it's going to be beneficial and advantageous for me, if I got something you need, come on, get it, brother. We got a vegan restaurant. We're not cutting it off to nobody else. It's open to all because we feel that that has aspects that will prolong your life and give you a better quality of life. Why wouldn't you? We have to look at this differently. This is the renewal of the vision. A culture has to be established which embodies the principles of God. If we're going to be God, you already carry his name. Most of us have holy names. But are you living to those names? Do those names represent your attributes and your characteristics? Those names are not to be given in vain. They are your introduction to people. Because when they hear your name, they're supposed to say, oh man, this person's supposed to be able to do this, and this. Yosef Yusuf means to add, to increase, to make abundant. I pray to God that something I've given you tonight has added to your existence to be beneficial for you. Oh, I'm living up to my name. What's Asiel mean? My God is my people. Does he not speak like a man that is of the people and for the people and for his God? Mikael, what does it mean? He was like the embodiment, the representation of God. Malachi? Angel. He has come and he's been an angel to us. I told you he stayed here all night to make sure this place was in existence. He wanted food. I said, no, I wasn't trying to feed nobody because I know ain't nobody want to listen to me. They need to be focused on the food. You got to provide food. That's why he's an angel. Asiel, being who God has created in the image and likeness of. I said at the beginning of my opening that I plan to be like him. Why? Because he modeled his life after the image of God. We all should be Asiel. Go ahead, brother.
Behavior that depends upon the capacity of learning.
Oh, that means, we said that earlier, your learning, that means the systems that develop your mind represent your culture. What culture have we been practicing? What culture should we be practicing? Go ahead.
Transmitting knowledge to succeeding generations.
Oh, you can't have no culture if you're not raising up no babies. I wouldn't even feel comfortable if I didn't see at least 1 or 2 babies in here. Otherwise, what we're doing don't make sense. We have to actively work towards and being a living example of how we want our children to be. I use the crude example of Dwayne Wade, but it would only make sense that a man who got a tattoo on his thigh, his upper thigh, would have a son that's sashaying around 11 years old. That's his example. If you're watching this, brother Dwayne, I don't mean no harm, but you need to get your stuff in order. Go ahead, bro. He might be watching. I don't know. I might go viral. Call me. I'll give you some stuff to talk about and teach you. Give you a real culture. Yes, sir.
Acquaintance with the tastes in fine arts, humanities.
Oh, humanities. What's that word you used earlier? Am I right, Prince? You use the word humanity. That means you have the taste for humanity. That means you want for your brother and what you want for yourself. But, like he said, Son Mikael, you can't do for others unless you do for self first. So the reason why we treat everybody else bad is because we don't know how to treat ourselves. Let's create a culture where we learn how to appreciate who we are and that we are God and the image of God.
The act of developing the intellectual and moral faculties, especially by education.
We must understand that every son and daughter of God must be a master of some sort. No one dedicated to God can be continuously taught and yet never learn. Did you hear what I said?
One more time.
I'm going to read that again. The brother said one more time, so I'll make sure. We must understand that every son and daughter of God must be a master of some sort. That means you have to take something and master it. So we call him master teacher because he's mastered the arts. Prime ministers mastered diplomacy and international travel. We all should be masters in some aspect of our lives. That's how you know you are God, because God is a master of all. This has to be the attention to detail that we have. Nothing can be lacking. I always use to my brothers who with me, you can't be disciplined in one area and undisciplined in another. It's impossible. That's impossible. You're not disciplined if you're not disciplined in every aspect of your life. Don't take on nothing that you can't discipline yourself to. You can't give it your all. Why even something to go down that road? You're setting up for failure. We learn failure is what? Now you see what I'm saying, brother? Why I'm so hard? I said, my whole life is dedicated to this. What I eat, what I think, and the time that I deviated from it, I almost died. I ate some Chipotle thinking I need something to eat. I'll send some beans and some rice. It'll be harmless. Okay, yeah. I learned my mistake real quick. Beans and rice. Damn, almost killed me. But when it's not from your mind, what you expect? It comes from somebody else's mind. I done purified my body in such that any foreign entity that comes in me will adversely affect me. That's how we have to be with lies and deceptions. I'm using these examples. I hope they make sense. When lies and think lies and deception is acceptable.
That's right.
You can't go out the door and see all of this death and deprivation happen each and every day and it be okay.
Right.
It's normal. It is what it is.
What the hell? It is what it is. No, you allowed it to be that way. See what I'm saying? Like, I want this to make sense.
Go ahead.
This is the culture that we have to come out of, but we also have to implement a new culture that's able to protect and preserve our life. That's it on the definition? One more, then I'm close up. Yeah. The last one. Now, culture, it has a verb too. So, the action of what we're producing should do what? The last one.
Culture. Third person.
This one right here.
Okay. Maintain.
Maintain?
Tissue cells.
No.
Right here, go ahead. Don't read it.
What tissue cells, we can say, okay. Tissue cells, bacteria, etc. Meaning what you made up of. So you, let's make it plain. Okay. We'll alleviate the scientific jargon and use plain language. You and I. So to maintain you and I, what has happened?
Maintain in conditions suitable for growth.
Suitable for growth.
That's culture.
If your culture does not create an environment that's suitable for growth, it is not a culture of God. The reason I'm saying that is because we started to practice a culture that was not suitable for growth. We don't have to put the blame on anybody. It was a collective effort. But the blame will fall on us if we know and don't do nothing to change it. That's why we call tikkun, the repairers, the restorers, the renewal. New. And some things that we take from the world, we got to actually use and apply. The problem is a lot of things we didn't even use and do. We thought we were, but we were not. You practice Passover for 3,500 years and never Passover, that means you didn't do something right. Right. So with that being said, I want to thank you for indulging me and giving your attention. And I pray, because I don't want to take the time, that these words entered your heart and that they activated something and that we can continue to create an environment that's conducive to life, love, prosperity, and the perpetuation and the proliferation of those things. So I thank you for indulging me. I want to leave you in the words that I came, in peace and paradise. Shalom alaikum.
Just real quick, before we close out and I pray about the key, I just want to ask a quick question. You want to say something? Okay. Before I bring my father, I just want to ask a quick question. What we said tonight, did it make sense?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Do you feel what we said was beneficial?
Yes, sir.
So I just want to know if there's any way that we, from this day, can continue to grow and to build, to continue to create an environment and culture that is conducive for what we want to do. Do I have anybody that will allow that process to continue? By a show of hands, who will help us with that reality? Okay. This is not a recruitment. I just want to know, can we work together? We believe you can be what you want to be. But we want to know when we come in each other's circles that we can protect each other. That we can help each other. That you got a friend, that you got an ally, as he said earlier we read, so God can be working in this day and time. We got to have allies. So that's all I want to know. So I want to give word to my father, Prince Asiel. Thank you.